I think we are here. Let me get my headphones on so we can hear some audio feedback. And yeah, so we're gonna just jump into it. So this is actually episode 11, and I don't know. I had a lot of stuff on my mind. I had stuff that I wanted to share. I shared a bunch of stuff on Facebook yesterday because I don't know. I was just sick of it, and I'm still sick of it, and I'm hurt, and I'm low key kind of afraid, but I'm also really pissed off and very enraged, and just a lot of different emotions kind of flowing all through me. So obviously I'm referring to the young brother that was hunted down and killed on camera down in Brunswick, Georgia. I think it happened back in February. Ahmaud Arbery. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. Was his name, and by now, hopefully, everybody has been exposed to the story. They know the story and everything. But I don't know. I wanted to take some time and come back with episode 11 so I could express myself and offer an invitation for dialogue, for questions, for just kind of whatever. Because I have a lot kind of inside of me that that I'm kind of going through. A few of my friends, people of color, people not of color, have reached out, and I've had some good, quick, short text message conversations. I've had one friend reach out and call, and I know that we're trying to plan a Zoom call, open forum meeting, so we can kind of talk about some of this stuff and address some of it. I feel like a lot of white people who are logical, reasonable, normal, white people who are not on the fringe or not extremists or anything are a little confused, or they're just not aware, or they just don't know, I guess. So, I want to be able to open up dialogue, but until we get to that point, I think for me, I have just been so incredibly upset because here's the thing. I understand, black men in particular have been hunted and killed in this country for hundreds of years. You should also understand that. That's not anything different. That's not anything new. Ever since we were brought over here as slaves, that's been the thing, right? And especially if you show any signs of leadership or strength or anything, they demasculate you, if that's the right word. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. And they embarrass you or they kill you, and so that's not anything new. And I don't think it's happening more now. I just think that there's camera phones everywhere, like all over the place. You have camera phones that can capture things, so I think we're seeing it more. And I am just fucking sick of seeing other young black men or other black men in general be killed on a camera phone, and then the people who do the killing very rarely face any type of consequences. Like, I'm over that. I do not want to see that anymore. Like, it's all affected me very deeply because I'm looking at it like some of these situations were not extreme situations, right? You have, police that get involved and they're ill trained and they're probably a little bit racist and they've had bad experiences and whatever. But you get them involved and you get somebody else involved, and then things escalate. And then next thing you know, the black man is dead on the ground. And I'm just sick of that shit. Or you get these citizens who I don't know, they feel like we are a threat. They have it in their minds that looking at a black man is a threat. And that's because that's been built into people for a long time. We're not a threat. We are just normal ass Americans trying to exist. That's all we are, right? Not every single black man is good and just. Not every single white man is evil and all of that. But you have to know that the way society, the way the media, the way movies, the way music has portrayed us, right? And some of it is done by our own, is that we're a threat or we're tough or we're this and that. And that invites people to want to knock us down a few pegs or want to attempt to try us or whatever it might be. There's so many different situations, but I know that being a black man, I know I have to behave a certain way in certain environments around certain people in certain neighborhoods in certain stores. Like I have to change who I am slightly. Now, if you know me, you know that I am very true to who I am. I'm very opinionated. I do not bite my tongue. I say what's on my mind. I am very proud. You know that, right? But me going into a situation knowing in my mind that I have to be a certain way, I just don't think white men really have to deal with that. Am I mad at white men? No. Like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I live a different experience than what they live, right? And with this latest story kind of blowing up all over social media and the news, it just really, really pisses me off. I'm just so over it. Like, I understand, like I said before, everybody gets murdered. Everybody gets killed. Like, I get that. But it just really seems like when you kill a black man and it's on camera, you just don't have to pay any type of consequences. And I'm just kind of over that. You know, I feel like extremist white men feel like they can go and murder us in the street and they know that nothing's going to happen to them. And I'm over that too. Like, I don't agree with it. And you shouldn't agree with it too. So I think in the last couple of days, my emotions have kind of been all over the place. And I think like initially I started with hearing about the story. I heard about the story a few days ago, but I didn't want to dive deep into it because I knew it was going to negatively affect me. But then it was just everywhere. And so I didn't watch the video because I'm not watching any more black men get murdered on camera. That I'm done with that. But I read all the details of what happened. And I'm like, just at a loss for words and just completely furious. Then as I kind of go through my range of emotions, I get angry, but then I get really hurt, like really, really, really hurt, knowing that, you know, if Ahmaud Arbery was a white man, he would be alive today, like 100%. If he was a Hispanic or a Asian man, like he probably would be alive. Like for some reason, people feel like they have to kill us, right? Out of nowhere. So I went from being furious to hurt to then just wondering, why aren't people talking about this? Why don't people know more about it? And I started getting more angry. And I think I was getting angry because I have a lot of white friends. I do. And I'm okay with that. Like, I honestly have a lot of friends from all different types of backgrounds. And I love that. Like, the group of people that I know is so diverse and it helps me be a better person. But I just felt like when I would talk to my white friends or seeing that my white friends weren't even aware of it or didn't have an opinion on it or anything like that, I'm just like, how? Like, you have got to step up and say something. And I think that's where my frustration at this moment is coming in. It's coming from all of my of color friends who are oblivious or don't care, or they might not even know what to say. And that's okay, right? But at some point in time, like, you have got to be hip to what's going on in this country, and you can't just sit back and say nothing, or you can't sit back and not have an opinion on it. And I just feel like if you see it on Facebook or whatever, like, okay, I'll just give a simple example. This is not an end all be all example, but I shared, I don't even know how many different statuses yesterday. Got likes, got reactions to them and everything, got comments, which is great. I love that, appreciate it. But I didn't see a lot of people taking that and resharing it. I didn't see a lot of people taking what I posted and resharing it with their own opinion attached to it. I saw it more today, a little bit more today, like, and I think now that celebrities are kind of jumping onto it, I think that the word is getting out more. But all yesterday, I was just scrolling through social media, just through everything, and I'm just like, what? Come on, like y'all have to have an opinion about it. You can't stay silent. That's part of the problem. One of my friends, who's a black man, texted me and said, "Hey man, have you seen anybody white that we know post anything about this story or their opinion about it or anything?" And at that point in the day, I was like, "Nah." And that's kind of hurtful in itself because, you know, when Notre Dame burned down, everybody was posting about it. Everybody was hurt and everybody was, "Oh my God, look at this building, it's history." But you have actual people being killed and you can go watch them be killed and you don't have an opinion on it. And I don't know, that's just my perception of it. And my perception, I'm not saying is right. I'm not saying that, you know, it's just all about the way I look at things, but I am saying that there is a difference in my black friends and how we get news, how we hear about news, how we talk about news, how much we know about certain stories, and then it's completely different with my white friends. And again, I'm not mad at my white friends and or anything like that. It's just frustrating because I feel like as a black man, I kind of have to be I try to be involved or know a lot about everything so I can practice empathy with people, right? Like whether I know their situation or not. And I feel like there is empathy, but then I feel like whenever a black man is killed on camera, it's a delayed empathy. It's not, I get you want to get your facts right. You don't want to come across as crazy or anything like that. I get all of that. I understand that. But like I be wanting to hear and feel people talk and share stuff. That's what I want. I want people to post publicly, "Hey, this is not right." Right? Look at this. This man was killed just because he was a black man running in a neighborhood. This is not right. Hey, look at this. This guy was choked out on a New York City sidewalk for doing just about nothing. And here's the thing. I understand that there's criminals out there. You know, I feel like if you escalate yourself, if you have a weapon on you, an illegal weapon, if you fire at the police or something like that, like I get that. Like I understand all of that. But a lot of these cases, you just have unarmed black men being killed, right? You could talk about Tamir Rice. He's a kid. He's playing with a toy gun on the playground. Cop shows up, quickly shoots the kid. Like, that's insane. If Tamir was Timmy or if Tamir was little Tommy, does he get shot? I don't think he does. I just don't think he does. Like, I mean, obviously you have the Mike Browns and you have the Trayvon Martins, and it's like, when is this going to stop happening? Like, I need to hear and feel people who are not of color speak about this. That's what I want, right? So if someone says, "Man, like Nigel really seems up in arms. He seems kind of, you know, like he's really going through it. What is he looking for?" Well, one, I'm looking to start some dialogue about this because I feel like I'm sick of the excuse of, well, race is a touchy subject. Yeah, okay, it is. Get over it. Like, come on. Like, I want dialogue, but then I want to see public support, right? I want to see you publicly go out and share something and have a conversation in the comments or whatever. I understand social media is not the end all be all, but it's an extremely valuable and powerful tool. That's what I want to see. If you don't agree with something and you see people around you who are of color, who it looks like they're hurting, I want to see you share it. I want to see you talk about it. That's what I want. I feel like if you're silent, you're just as good as the enemy. You have to pick a side in this. And yes, there are sides. Here's one side. You have extreme racist white men who are armed, right? Killing unarmed black men. It's very clear to me. It's very clear. It might not be clear to you, but it's very clear to me being a black man living in Texas, right? It's very clear. All the time. Like, we just recently moved. This is a nice neighborhood. I know that if I'm outside walking or if I'm doing something, I have been having it in the back of my mind ever since we moved here. What's going to happen when someone asks me, do I live here? Right? Because again, if you know me, I'm not afraid of confrontation. So I'll have that conversation or confrontation if I need to, but it's in the back of my mind that really could happen. And especially now with COVID-19, I wear a mask every time I leave outside. So if it's sunny out, I can have on a mask and sunglasses. So knowing that some people, not all, knowing that some people could already look at me like a threat, and now I have a mask on and sunglasses, what in the world are they going to be thinking then? And then how am I going to react? Will I be able to keep myself calm enough to de-escalate it? Will it even matter if I'm calm enough to de-escalate it? Or are they going to escalate it? Right? Will it even matter if I'm level-headed or if I'm not arguing? Right? Because somebody just feels threatened by me and just shoot me? I think it could happen. The probability of it happening isn't as high as other things that could happen to me. I get that. I understand that. But it could happen. And it's more probable that it would happen to me than one of my white guy friends or one of my white girlfriends. Like, that's just the way it is. And that's the part that I need people to understand, that it's not okay. Like, I want people to stand up and scream from the rooftops, this is not okay. When you are with your family and you hear that off the cuff racist remark, you need to be the person that says, hey, that's not cool. That's not cool. Like, we're past that. We're living in 2020, almost 2021. Like, those are the moments people need to have those quick confrontations and just say that's not okay. For the people who have kids, it's so important that you raise your kids to know the black man is not a threat to you, right? Like, we don't go out and shoot things up, right? Like, come on. There are real life threats. Yes, there are. And they come in all different shapes, colors, sizes. So we don't want to ignore that. But this narrative that's been floating around for so long that you know we're aggressive, or we like to fight, or we're a threat, or we're the villain. Like, that really has got to go away. It really, really has to. And it's only going to go away if everybody starts calling out this kind of bullshit. It's only going to start to go away if everybody behind closed doors checks that uncle, aunt, grandmother, sister, brother, father, mother, whoever that says that little thing. Because I deep down believe a lot of this stuff is happening behind closed doors. And I think if you're silent on social media, I don't think you're saying it in private. I could be wrong, but I just don't think you are. If you don't have the courage to share a story about an innocent, unarmed black man being killed on camera, you are definitely not having that conversation with that person in your family saying that racist remark, right? And I also feel like we are in a place where, when I say the racist remark, I'm not talking about just dropping the N-bomb, or it might happen, I don't know. But I'm talking more about those little comments that we just kind of sneak in. Yesterday, I was attached to a Facebook comment thread by a friend, and everybody was sharing their experiences. And it was just making me think about all the experiences that I had gone through. And in those experiences, did I have white friends or friends that weren't black kind of stand up for me? So one example, I remember being in, I think, high school. Pretty sure I was a freshman or sophomore in high school, and I went over to our friend's house. I had been to this friend's house, I don't even know how many times before, right? Went to the friend's house, and his grandmother was there. And because his grandmother was there, I was not allowed to walk through the front door. I had to go around the back. Now, I could be naive and say, well, grandmother didn't want us to bring dirt in or whatever. We weren't outside playing like that. But I knew what that was. And I still remember the feeling of being like, what the fuck? Like, that's what I thought to myself. And that stuck with me for a really long time. Anytime I'm out in public, or you guys know I work in customer service, I always feel that not everybody, it's not a every single person deal, but I feel like sometimes you get that look. Sometimes you got to put your hand out and they drop the money on the counter. That could just be you're just a shitty person, but it could also be the other thing too, right? And it's the way people look at you when you tell them you're in a leadership role. It's the way people's body language are or is towards you. It's just a lot of things. It's hard to put it in words when it's an entire lifetime that you've been used to. Like I wish there was a switch I could just flip to just make everything turn around just for like a day, just so that other people could kind of feel what we feel, right? And again, it's not all people and it's not every single situation. It's not like that would be crazy to think, but clearly there is an issue in this country and clearly there has been an issue. And I take issue with everybody out there who is silent. If you are not black and you are silent and you allow things to happen, you allow things to say things, for people to say things around you, you in my eyes are just as good as the enemy. You've got to stand up. You got to be courageous. I told a friend yesterday on the phone, I said, even if you didn't want to deal with the race thing, right? Even if you said, I just don't really like talking about race and, it's just such a touchy subject. Even if you felt like that, look at it like this. There are innocent, unarmed Americans being killed on camera, and the killers are facing no type of consequences, right? There are Americans being killed right here in America, right? Regular, law-abiding, tax-paying Americans are being killed by extremists in this country. If this was happening in some other country, I feel like we would send some troops or send somebody to de-escalate things or something. I feel like there would be more of an outrage, but it's right here in this country. We're being terrorized, right? So if you don't want to talk about race, if you feel like race is too much, then just think your fellow Americans are being killed. They're being murdered, and you can go watch it. You can watch Americans be killed while they're unarmed. Right? So that's another way to think about it. If you don't want to deal with race, I'm ready for people to be courageous. I'm ready for people to stand up and shit, just be a goddamn American. Like, just do that at the very least. What I'm hoping after this, I'm saying like after me recording this and putting this out, what I'm hoping is people will watch it, obviously, but then I'm hoping I can open up dialogue. I want to have live conversations with people. It's going to be hard to have in-person live conversations because we all should be on lockdown still, so we all don't get sick. But this Zoom call that I'm trying to coordinate or try to be a part of where there's an open forum, I want to do that. I want to get people involved. I want to have these conversations. That's really what I want to do. If you know me, I love talking to people. I love conversing with people. I love going back and forth. And that's what I want to do. So if it's not on Zoom, if it's on FaceTime, whatever it is, I want to be able to see people and have conversations and go back and forth. And here's the thing, like, I think, I'm not sure. I think a lot of my white friends just don't even know where to start. They're just like, this is too much, right? But now is the time to lean in. I got that from a friend on her Facebook status yesterday. She said now's the time to lean in. So that's what you have to do. If it's too tough, if you don't like to speak about race, lean in right now. Reach out. Get on Zoom. Call me on Zoom. Call me on FaceTime. Let's have real life conversations. And then hopefully you could take things back to your community. I could take things back and I can learn things and we can just go from there. It's not going to solve everything. It's not going to solve black men being killed by crazy white men, right? Not all white men are crazy, but it's not going to stop that from happening. But I need to be a part of some type of action. I can't sit here with my thoughts all the time. Even this is cool and everything, but I really wish I had somebody here to talk to bounce ideas off of. So this is episode 11. I'm back. I'm all moved in and settled in to a new place, and I have a lot on my mind, and hopefully I'll be able to get back onto a regular schedule. I got some new tech, so that's also exciting, but that's what I'm hoping to happen after all of this. Reach out to me, share the video, like the video, all that normal YouTube stuff, but most importantly, reach out, right? Let's have a live, face-to-face virtual conversation. That's what I want to happen from people. So I hope everybody out there washes their hands. I hope you stay safe. Please wear your mask out in public. If you hear some racist shit, please call it out. If you see some racist shit, please expose it. And I'll be back soon for episode 12. All right. Peace.